Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be using my presentation to inform you all about service dogs. Now, by definition, service dogs are a dog that is trained in a specific task to help benefit an individual with a disability. Now, the ADA, which is the Americans with Disabilities Act, defines a disability as being a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities. When an individual is wanting to obtain a service dog, they need to ask themselves, do I have a disability? If that answer is yes, then they can move on to decide what kind of service dog they require. The three major service dogs that we tend to see most often include mobility assistance, detection, and psychiatric help. Now, mobility assistance service dogs tend to be guide dogs and hearing dogs. You tend to see them walking with their owner in a wheelchair. Whereas detection service dogs can detect allergies in food and can even alert and respond to their owner's seizure or panic attack. Psychiatric service dogs are for those who have been diagnosed with PTSD, depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, and other mental illnesses. Once an individual has decided what kind of service dog they need to mitigate their symptoms, the training starts. Now, training can last from 6 months to up to 2 years, and it just depends on the consistency of training and who is training the dog. Now, a common misconception is that an individual needs to hire a professional organization or a professional trainer. This is inaccurate. The ADA states that any individual can train a service dog. You yourself can train a service dog, a family member, a friend. You can hire a professional trainer, or you can hire a professional organization. It's all your choice. Once you have decided who will be training the service dog, the training actually starts. Now, service dogs need to train in situations that they will most likely be familiar with. This could be faking a seizure, so the dog learns what actions need to be taken to take care of their owner. Unfortunately, there are only a few states in the U.S. that will allow service dogs in training to work in stores, restaurants, libraries. One of these is Colorado, actually. Colorado sees service dogs in training as needing to train in the areas they'll be working in, which includes restaurants, libraries, stores. Unfortunately, not all other states believe in this, and many times training will have to be held in pet-friendly areas, which include PetSmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, and those kind of stores. Once an individual has their service dog completely trained, there are 3 requirements that need to happen. These 3 requirements include a public access test, knowing commands, and being up to date on all vaccines and being clean. Now, a public access test is when the dog is tested to see how it will react in public areas. In order to pass this test, the dog must not beg for food, the dog must not sniff merchandise, and most definitely not urinate or defecate in the public area. With knowing commands, this differs for every individual with a disability. Some examples will be an individual with a visual impairment. A service dog can let them know when to cross the road. Or an individual with a hearing impairment, the dog will let the individual know that the phone is ringing. Service dogs can also do security checks in individuals who suffer from PTSD. So for every individual with a disability, it depends on what they need the dog to mitigate and just the training it goes through. Now, with vaccines and being clean, a service dog is going into public areas, which means it needs to be free of all diseases. This includes ticks, fleas, any sort of rabies, or any of those. So many times a service dog will need to have a checkup, 1 or 2 every year, as well as being bathed every 2 weeks. This can get frustrating at times, but it's definitely worth it to have your service dog with you wherever you go. Now, I'd just like to say that service dogs are trained to make an individual's life better. Without them, some people with disabilities might not be able to live their life to the fullest. I have a service dog. His name is Boomer. He is for my psychiatric health, and I don't know what I would do without him. He has been the greatest thing since my husband and I received him, and without him, I probably wouldn't leave my house. Thanks.